My next guest directed some of your favorite television shows like Seinfeld and radio news. He also spends some time at the university each year teaching eager students the ins and outs of television. In addition to all that, he writes books. Big-time television director Tom Cherones has somehow managed to find some time to spend with us this afternoon on First at 4. Tom, thanks so much for being with us today.
My pleasure. Thank you.
This is the book. And unfortunately, I have not had a chance to read much, but it looks like it's really funny. Tell us about it.
I think it is. It was an idea I had a number of years ago. I thought about writing a movie script, but then I've done that, and I didn't enjoy the way you have to structure those things. So I just started writing a story like I was telling my daughter a story years ago, and it worked for me. So I wrote a story about Tom and Billy Hardley, the Hardley boys, who in the mid-50s were kidnapped by a mad scientist and put into what he called cryogeriatric suspension. That meant their bodies aged appropriately, but their minds remained those of 17-year-old boys. Oh, wow. So they've just been rescued, and they are 70-year-old men with the minds of 17-year-old boys, and they want to go back to high school and finish and continue being amateur detectives working for their 95-year-old father who still works.
Maybe find a nice girl to go steady with.
Well, yeah. In fact, they meet their old girlfriends from the day who are now 68 years old, but their minds are 17-year-olds, so I don't know what's going to happen. That's a scary topic.
Now, you said you wouldn't go the route of a movie with this, but could this maybe blossom and bloom into a short television show?
Or a movie. Now that I have a book, I'm going to try to sell it as a movie or a TV series.
There you go.
Sell it twice, 3 times maybe.
Absolutely, that's how it works.
Like MASH. Remember, it was a book, a movie, and a TV series.
Wow.
Now, if we could duplicate that, whoa, I could buy you a steak for dinner.
You could.
Well, I could.
Maybe you could buy me another show. I don't know. I'm kidding. I love my job. Now, Tom, speaking of shows and knowing how to make them work, you were a big part of Seinfeld, and I'm sure the folks at home remember Seinfeld. It still comes on.
Oh, yes.
It will probably be in syndication forever, like Andy Griffith.
That'd be great.
That'd be fine with you, wouldn't
it? Yeah, because I still get paid for it when it's on every time.
Now, before we start talking about the experiences that you actually had making the show, after the show now, do you keep up with the kids, you know, Jason Alexander, Julia Louis-Dreyfus? Do you guys ever talk anything like that?
Not really. I see their new TV shows, but everybody goes about their business doing what they do. I'm almost never in Los Angeles anymore. I live in Oregon and New Mexico. I have houses on the coast of Oregon and one in Taos, New Mexico, and I spend most of my time there. And then I come here in the spring for a month to teach this class at the university. This is the 12th year, so I've been doing this a while. The upside for me is that my children and grandchildren are nearby. So
you get to see the family.
I get to see the family.
So there's not moments where you're like, say, in Walmart down on Skyland, you know, just being a guy going to Walmart, because you do that, and your phone rings and it's, you know, oh, it's Elaine from Seinfeld. I got to take this really quick.
No,
there's none of those stories.
No, that doesn't happen. I do talk every now and then with Stephen Root, who was on News Radio. Stephen is a Florida Gator, so we have our problem.
Wow. I bet you that was a tense set.
Between Stephen and me, it was. Football season.
Yeah, especially during the time that you guys were shooting News Radio. Because Florida was up then, and we were kind of,
I know.
We're out of time. I'm so sorry. Well, I wish we had a whole hour.
Thank you.
But you mentioned the movie, the show that you're shooting, which is part of the class that you're teaching. If you have time, come back on and we'll talk about that.
Well, that would be good because you're our leading man.
Well, I hate to toot my own horn, but I will let Tom Cherones do it for me.
He's an excellent actor, everybody.
There you go. All right. From a man who knows talent. You can pick up a copy of Tom's book and even get him to sign it Wednesday, April 24th at the Tuscaloosa Public Library. The fun starts at 1 p.m.